Hey everybody, welcome back to Quali-Tea time. So we have a little bit on the side of a lot of news, more so than usual, anyways. Like more news than we averagely typically have in one of these. And the first piece of news is this thing behind me, or more specifically, the two of these things behind me that I now have. These are my brand new dedicated green screen lights, and what you know so far is that I have this light over here. If I do that, yeah, you can make it out. Which has a slightly more golden than white kind of cover to it, a diffuser, that's called, which makes me softer rather than blind, and also a lot softer than these lights that you can see coming from the ceiling that are giving me this big shadow from the top. Basically, these make my green screen work a lot better when they're correctly positioned, but when they're not correctly positioned, they do an interesting thing. Basically, they do this. So I now have, in short, two miniature suns at my disposal. And they do actually have like these big diffusers on front of them, so I don't actually go blind looking at them. Not that I would actually have to. There's still some flaws in my green screening, because now when these are on, everything else at the front gets washed out, and that's slightly compensated by this one, but I need another one over here, ideally. When you have a green screen layout, you either have one light directly in front of your actor, as it were, probably blinding them to some degree, or you have two off to the side so they can act without being blinded, and also have, like, good lighting on them. But boy, does it make my green screen work when these two are actually pointed at the green screen behind me rather than me. But geez, yeah, so that's the first bit of news. The second bit of news is that I am now definitely going to be attending MCM October, between the 28th and the 30th in October of this year. I'll be there alongside Fuzz and Tumble user Sparks Flame, who visited us and was with us the last time we went to MCM. Exact details are still to be confirmed, but I hope to see you all there. It should be fun. Lastly, there are currently two different Q&As running inside of the series. So, if you look over to Mading Do, Maid Lang has requested some questions that they might be able to answer, just while they're going about tidying up the library section of Master Jonathan's Master Jonathan's mansion. And also, Dungeon Maker Lang has requested questions to answer whilst he's going about finalizing the ruinification of the ocean monument so that they can turn it into an actual, like, farm. Content-wise, Dungeon Maker Lang is a lot more open to out-of-character, like, questions, whereas Maid Lang is very in-character, so shove them where you like. Now, on to the schedule. So, on Thursday, we have Midnight Souls playing some Dark Souls free from 11 PM BST over at twitch.tv/lyinginbedmon. On Friday, we have my penultimate episode of Undermine. On Saturday, we have an episode of XCOM 2, followed by at 9 PM BST over at twitch.tv/thedragonhat, Dungeons & Dragons Path of Steel. Then on Sunday, we have some more Dungeon Maker as we finish off that Ocean Monument project. On Tuesday, we have Edgington, where it's a fairly quiet day, and we also have what is probably the last, if not the penultimate, Spring Realm development stream at 9 PM BST over at twitch.tv/lyinginbedmon. Then, on Wednesday, the maid cleans up the library in Mading Do. And with that, on to today's questions in the Lying Answers section. So, as always, these are drawn from the comments section of the preceding video, so if you have anything you want to ask me, you can drop it there. Alternatively, drop it into one of the two Q&As going on currently. So, our first question comes from Royal Guard. Is there a lying that could tackle the witch and win? Could priest lying do it again? Priest lying absolutely could not do it unless they were God mode again. And that's pretty dang unlikely, because they now have a fairly strong and compelling reason not to go God mode. But there is absolutely a lying that could tackle the witch and win. In fact, there's a lying that could tackle the witch and win easily. They're sort of godlike just as a writ, but they haven't met the witch just yet. I'm sure they'll be interested in doing so. Draco's Cave asks, bacon or pancakes? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say pancakes. Wait, no, bacon. Definitely bacon. Yes, bacon. Maybe pancakes. No, bacon. Sticking to bacon. Fox Crimson asks, what was your inspiration for Mading Do? Well, the original nebulous of, like, Mading Do comes from the donation drive I did a few years back, actually to get most of Elemental right now, which didn't hit its mark because people were kind and decided to wait until the drive itself was over to donate, so that I wouldn't have to wear a maid outfit on camera. And Maid Lang just sort of like kept in the background of the fandom murmurs for a few years after that, and then it came time for me to think of what to do after Night of Fangs, and so I looked through the Forbidden Langs because I had stated clearly and coherently that the Forbidden Langs would be getting their own series. So Maid Lang was in the listings. So I then thought, okay, what are some story ideas that I could toss Maid Lang into? And initially I had it as it would be purely from Fuzz's perspective, but Fuzz did not feel comfortable being the perspective character of an entire series, so I reworked it slightly. So we got Maiding Do out of that, and there is a big story in Maiding Do. There's gonna be some reveals there, and I'm enjoying making it so full of references to older collaborations and such. Some of the music is popularized by Delta Squid, other pieces are popularized by VG Toolbox. There are references to the really old Take It days in there, but you'll find out what the story is in their own time. And with that, I hope you've all enjoyed, and I shall catch you all next time.